Hello, and we're back again for another video. It's another weekend and another opportunity to get some stuff done to the Brabus Smart Roadster Finale Edition. So just watching the Formula 1 on the phone while doing this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gearbox oil, which looking online is just a case of removing this one and this one here, let it drain out, put the bottom plug back in, and then obviously fill it up until it overflows out of there, and refill it and screw it back together. So the oil I've went with, and I couldn't get this locally but I ordered it online, was this stuff here. So I think it's like 1.3 litres it takes or something. So I've got 2 bottles here. So the first thing I'm going to do is unscrew that. So we'll go and do that. So that's both Allen headed nuts removed, the bottom one as well. And you can see in the oil there's a slight sheen, which is obviously a little bit of metal filings. And on here you can see some here. So I'll just score this with my finger and you can see how much cleaner it is. So obviously they say that it's not a serviceable part that you should do normally, but as per Evolution, you should do this every 3 times, 3 service should I say. So I'm actually chuffed that I've done it, just to get rid of those and put some clean oil in it. So I'll go and leave this to drain a little bit, tilt the head back, or the loader, and drain some out, and then we'll refill it. So that's the drain plug on, and it's just a case of filling it up. I forgot to actually take a funnel with a pipe, so what I've done is I'm using a colostrum feeder tube and syringe, so I'll just syringe it in through the fill line there until it overflows. So I'll just go and do that just now, and I reckon it'll take the whole drum plus a little bit more. So it's all back together. It took just over 1 litre, so just over 1 bottle. So it took about 1.15 litres, so 1,150 mils, and that's it all back together. And that's another job knocked off the list. So we'll go and see what's next. So the next thing I'm actually going to do is, in the last video that I posted, the latest one, somebody says, have I checked the intercooler, well the charge cooler, for any leaks, to see if there's any water and air mixing. To be honest, I never. So while the engine's out, I'm going to take this opportunity to do that, and also to install the new crankshaft sensor. I need to remove this and get down in there somehow, is what I'm reading online. So first thing, I'm going to remove all these hoses. I'm going to fill this with water and basically see if anything comes out, and I'll also see if I can get a bit of pressure in it, because I do have a pressure system somewhere which I used for topping up the coolant in the UTV, and we'll see if any water comes out of these points here. So what I'm going to do is remove them 2 hoses and fill that and see if water comes out basically, and we'll see what we're going to do and do this. So I've got this off again because I did it in the last video, which has allowed me to get access to here. So I'm just waiting to take the cables off and then get access to the torques. To get the crankshaft sensor nut off, so I ended up bending this. I don't know if you can see it on camera. So that's gooshed. So I had to go extension, reducer, and I don't know if you can see just down in here, and I'll zoom in. I'm on, and more importantly, you can see it's coming off. So I'll continue getting that and pull the sensor out. So that's the old sensor out. You can see here, absolutely soaked it in penetrating oil. You can see the head there. When I compare it against the other one, so I'm trying to do this one-handed, you can see that there's literally no head on it. So I don't know if that's one of the contributing factors to my misfire, but I'm glad it's going to be changed. So I'll go and get this one seated and put in. So that's the crankshaft sensor in. It's actually 2.5 hours since we last was on camera, so you can see that the water hasn't dropped, and I don't know what I've done with the torch. You can see there's no water inside. You have to take my word for that one, but there's no water inside either of the pipes. So I'm just going to put all this that's loose back together, put the hoses back on, and then that will be another thing done and off the list. So that's everything back together. Intake manifold secure, charge cooler secure, and all the hoses. I've left the water in it for just now, and I'll replace that later. So next thing I'm going to do is these air conditioning pipes. I cut them stupidly because I couldn't get these fittings off, even though I had the tools there. I just couldn't for some reason, so in my frustration I cut them. So I'm going to get these removed and see if if I can get them welded somewhere locally. If not, it'll be a replacement job. So I think I've got to break it here, and then that will be it. I do have the hose ends, which is here. That's obviously one side I've cut here, and that is another side I've cut, but that is a bit that is on here, which is a well-known issue for snapping. So I'll need to take that off, see if I can get that welded, and yeah, see what I can do. So I'll go and do that just now. So that's one of the pipes off. I actually made a mistake. It's not, the second pipe's not connected to this bit here. I hope you see it. It's actually within the engine bay, well, the frunk even. So I'm going to take this off, and I think it's this one here. So I'm just going to do that right now. So you can see that's the air conditioning pipes off. Both of them are down here, along with the flexes. So as mentioned, I want to see if I can get these welded somewhere, and we will now look at the next thing to do, which I think will probably be the actual alternator itself. So I just stopped for a bit of lunch. So this is the old alternator. You can see it's got a crack, it's also seized. So the new one is here. I went with this one here, you can see it on the screen. £240 I think it was, plus 2 belts here. I was worried that I lost everything, because it's probably like 1.5 to 2 years since I started this whole thing and got sidetracked. But I came across this very dusty box parts. So this is everything that I need here. So I'm just a way to work through everything on Evolution. Again, how would any of us cope without this? I'll just think of that. So you can see I've got the guide up on the screen. So I'm just going to work through this, get this all back together, and I'll give you an update soon. So that's the alternator bolted in, and I've obviously found all the parts. So I'm just a way to put the belt on and then adjust the tension. There's 2 adjustments available. There's this one for that belt, and then there's this one under here for the other belt. So I'll get these on and relatively tight. And that's the alternator in, which is a complete boost. Bolts are on, belts are on. So we've got the AC compressor belt here. We've got the alternator and water pump one. You can see them through there. So at least that's done. Next thing I need to do is obviously connect the cables that I can. I'm just going to double check what ones go where, and then I'm obviously going to sort out this paintwork after it went crinkled, because I decided to put a top coat on, but it reacted with a base coat. Oh. And then once that's done, I think it will be time to put the engine back in to the car. So hopefully this week it'll be in there. The only thing that's left to do on this is obviously the suspension and the drums, which I'll get onto when it's in the car. But everything else is done. Here's hoping anyway. So I think I'm going to stop this video here, which is quite a bit shorter than the last one I think, and I'll go and find a place to get these welded or brazed. I was just looking at the fitting just now, and it looks like somebody's got there before me. You can see there's some GB weld or some sort of resin on that already, so we'll see what's what, and we'll take it from there. I did price up one of these online, but they're £125, and I'm just not doing it, to be honest. Yeah, just not doing it. So yeah, we'll get the engine back in this week, and we should be able to do a test fire and take it from there. And then obviously once that's done, we can focus on the front end. But as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you up in the next one.